Tong Len meditation, giving and taking, maybe not with the 4 immeasurables because that's too much, and you must be also totally exhausted. But usually, you know, the exhaustion that comes, unless you push too hard, the exhaustion that comes from such retreat, so it goes very, very quickly. You will recover quite quickly. Usually. I hope you will. Okay. So try to sit with a straight back. Take a few deep breaths, let go of all tensions and maybe frustration that I didn't explain it properly. I know I did not explain it properly. And I know again I gave you a lot of information, maybe you cannot do anything with it at the moment, but now you have these pieces of the puzzle, and at one point if you continue they will fit. But you need a lot of patience there. Now here this whole thing, patience with the Dharma. And then for a short time you put your awareness on your breath. Just knowing that you're breathing in when you're breathing in, knowing that you're breathing out when you're breathing out. This is not complicated, that's very simple. It's not easy to do, but it's simple. You don't need to have a PhD for that. Okay, so then we're trying to make an experiment here. So, kind of turn your attention away from the breath and try to see a little bit, go a step backward. I know you can't go a step backward, but maybe you see what I mean. And try to see the state of your mind while you are watching your breath. Just to experience it. Not to be in the breath, but to be in the mind. The mind that experiences or that watches the breath. And then you think, I am meditating. And then you try to see whether the mind state is the same or different, or because you think I, all of a sudden something more kind of jumped in. Before there is no clear split of mind, the action of watching and the breath. When you think, I am watching the breath, try to see that split that it makes. And how does it feel now? Do you feel as whole as you maybe felt before, like just everything kind of almost melting together, or are they now distinctive parts? Did something jump in that was not there before? And where does it sit? That thing that jumped in, the I. How does this I feel that is meditating? Is it big? Is it small? Is it comfortable? Is it round? Is it square? And then you think your name. I am such and such, and again try to find this feeling of I. Seems very real when you don't examine, but how is this I that is Leora or Gidi or Losang? Okay, then you try to remember or create a situation where somebody steals something from you. Or let's say you want to go home and you want to go out and your shoes are gone. Or if you want to make it really strong, something that you really attach to, like your phone. You want to go collect it in the Mordon and there's nowhere to be found. My phone has been stolen. Who took it? That would probably be the first thought. I have lost my phone. Does that I feel the same as the I who is meditating? Or the I who knows your name? Or is it different? Okay, then try to remember an occasion where you hurt somebody. It doesn't need to be big hurt, but just somebody got angry. I hurt somebody. Again, don't run away from the feeling we do that. Not necessarily because we want, but because we are lacking awareness or we don't care how the other feels. So that I that remembers I hurt somebody, how does that one feel? Don't go too much into guilt and stuff. Look for the I that has hurt somebody. Where does it sit and how does it feel? Or remember a moment where you didn't get what you wanted. You got hurt, insulted, not respected. And then what happens? Is that I findable? That is insulted? How does it feel? Where does it sit? Is it big? Is it small? Is it comfortable? Or not? And then think about somebody that you care about. I love you. Very simple. Doesn't need to be sexual attraction. Just somebody that you care about. How does that I feel that loves? Is it the same as the ones before, or is it different? Okay, then again you are inviting to come to your crown, either the Buddha in his form of light, like a light body, or something else, God, Jesus, or some other awakened energy that you want to give it a form or no form. But it's good if there's light, because the subtle mind is clear light. But it's not a light bulb, so again, difficult to explain. And again you become aware of that I that loves, which is spacious. If it's unattached love, it's very spacious, feels very good, and almost you can feel that there is light instead of darkness of the other eyes who got hurt, or who hurt, or who lost something. So that this fully awakened energy can kind of mix with our own innate love, compassion and wisdom that is very spacious, very calm, very peaceful. And you see this as a source of light in your heart. Again, as much as possible, stay there in that inexhaustible resource of being able to give freely, without fear, without holding anything back. So then I will leave it up to you whom you are going to put in the space in front of you. It can again be your future I, your future me, like your combination of body and mind, because that does exist. Flowing in time, changing constantly, moment by moment by moment. It can be, for example, if you are afraid of old age, then see yourself as an old person. And understand the suffering of this old person, and when you're breathing in, you kind of breathe in the suffering of this old person too, so that this old person, that is you, is liberated from it. That would be one way. Otherwise, you can put whomever you want, that you would be ready to breathe in their suffering, not so that you have the suffering, but so that they are free from it. Compassion part. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. So that can be one person, that can be many people, that can be animals, that can be the whole universe, or as I said, it can be your future self. Or it can be your future self and your family and your friends, or your enemies, because you understand that this would be a way to destroy your own fear of them and your hatred. And then before we start to breathe in their suffering, we start to understand, I myself, I'm also suffering. I also don't have what I really want. Constantly things are happening that if I would have a choice, I would not choose to have them. I react with anger, with aversion, with fear, with aggression, with desire, with attachment, with jealousy, with arrogance. And especially I don't see things as they are. I add something that is not there. I add an objective, real existence, separate from my mind. So anyway, I have all this. So may now these other people, or this one person that is sitting in front of me, may they be free from it, since I have it anyway. Or if there is a specific suffering that you would like somebody else to be free from, like a sickness, a depression, poverty, whatever. So very courageously, you breathe it in the form of black smoke. You bring it down to your heart where this Buddha potential, this luminous, spacious, wonderful mind is sitting or residing. And you let that black smoke go through it so that it can be transformed. And transformed especially by the knowledge of, yes, suffering exists, but is a dependent arising. It has causes. And as we said before, if you label it suffering, it becomes suffering. If you label it pleasure, it becomes pleasure. Like the cheese, or tastes, or whatever. So we start to understand that nothing is from its own side good or bad. It becomes what we label it. So we take especially these wrong views of inherent real existence, really good, really bad. We take it upon us. It travels through that space of luminous wisdom, love and compassion in our heart. And as you breathe out, you give either your future self or these people are sitting in front of you all your knowledge and all the other knowledge of the Buddha about how things exist. All your patience, all your peace, all your spaciousness, all your well-being, if it needs to be material possessions, or whatever you think the other person needs, you just very freely give it to him or her or to many people that are sitting there. Breathing out, I'm sharing all the good things I have. And not kind of half-half. May they have it. I have so much to give, so much love, so much care. And you think, may they be happy and have the causes for happiness. And you see how they are receiving the light. As you breathe in, may they be free from pain, insecurity, wrong views, afflictive emotions, suffering. And you breathe it in the form of black smoke, travels through your heart where there's only luminous space. It dissolves as you breathe out. May they be happy, well, safe, peaceful and loving. May they find what they're looking for. And may they be at peace with whatever is by understanding that nothing exists separate from the mind. As you breathe in, may they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May my own wrong views, suffering of negative emotions and whatever, may that suffering become the cause for their enlightenment. Because if I'm courageous enough to breathe in their suffering, this is a very good tool against self-cherishing. If I diminish my self-cherishing, enlightenment comes nearer and nearer. If I nourish it and keep it, enlightenment is further and further away. When I'm in enlightened, I can lead others to that state. So may my suffering from these wrong views, negative emotions and whatever, become the cause for their enlightenment. And you just continue to do that. Breathing in what we usually try to ward off or run away from it. In the luminous space in your heart, it dissolves. Breathing out, we freely give away what we usually cling to. And we can think especially of Annalie's grandfather, who has just passed away. And we send him lots of light. That he has kind of a calm mind while he's traveling through the bardo, and so that he will attain precious human rebirth. So as you breathe out all your care, all your concern about the well-being. You breathe out relief, support. As you breathe in, you liberate them from their suffering. Okay, so now you know the technique, and it's quite simple. You know, you can also go like bad in, good out. It's as simple as that. So then next time you don't feel so well, you're confused or whatever, you think so many other people are confused, depressed, sad, unhappy, hungry, and you think, may my suffering now become the cause for their enlightenment, and you breathe it in. And when you breathe out all your knowledge, all your humor, all the good things that are always there and still left, and we still have access to them. So we kind of go against the self-cherishing, who definitely doesn't want to do that, and we nourish our potential that we have to attain full awakening. We get in contact with it because it's always there. We just need to remember it and go there and get in contact with it. So we can use the dedication of Khenpo Gyaltsen for that, when he said, when I am well, I am happy, because I dedicate for the happiness of all sentient beings. When I suffer, I am happy, because I take upon myself the suffering of all beings. May the ocean of suffering in samsara quickly be exhausted. Through the power of our practice. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be separated from the happiness that knows no suffering at all, meaning liberation and enlightenment. And may we all be able to live in total equanimity, not too close to our friends, not totally indifferent to the people we don't care about, and not too distant to what we call the enemy.